What's up, ladies and gents? This is Casey Kid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we're going to look at how to get your light level up. That's the most important thing in the Taken King. It basically unlocks all the content that you can end up doing. 290, that's the point for the raid. That's where you want to strive for. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now you can see it's not like I've got the highest light in Destiny at all, 291, and I just kind of grinded for it. But what I want to do is show just some of the tips and tricks that I ended up doing, and just how to be most economical with leveling up this character and other characters. The biggest thing, again, focus on your light. Light is all that matters. It doesn't matter what your stats are right down here. You're going to get things that you want in the future, but for right now, the only thing you should focus on is getting your light level up. To do that, you're going to need legendary marks. Legendary marks are extremely important. Make sure you're doing your daily story and PvP bounties so that you can get 30 per day. You're going to need them. And you can see I actually used a few of those to level up my Zalo Supercell up to 294. It's my best weapon that I have. And you do that by infusing things. So if we take a look at how to infuse an exotic, you actually need glimmer weapon parts, an exotic shard, and some legendary marks. Now I actually don't have anything that's higher attack than the Zalo Supercell, so I can't infuse anything. But if we take a look at something like my sword, my Soul Edge, whenever I go to infuse it, you can see right here, you don't need the exotic shard if it's not an exotic, and it just takes the 3 legendary marks and a few other materials. Not all that much, to be quite honest with you. Aside from doing your story and crucible missions, you can also get legendary marks from dismantling legendary gear. So try to use your blue items for infusion as opposed to the purple ones. That's going to help out a lot, and it's going to help you build up your legendary marks. Since I have a couple engrams over here, I'm going to go over to the Cryptarch and show what you should be doing if you're doing strikes or the Court of Orcs. Typically, whenever you come back from those events, you're going to have a full line filled with different engrams, blues and purples. But whenever you have them, decrypt one at a time. Decrypt one, and go back to your character select screen just to see, does it have a higher light level than what you have on now? If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. If it does, equip that piece of gear so that your light level can boost up, and then you're going to have a chance to get better gear because your light level's better. That's just how it works now in Destiny. You need to check each item. If this would have happened to bump me up to 292 or even get a little bit higher, or I could infuse it into something to get my light level higher, do it. Because light level is all that matters for getting better gear. That's really what you want to do. Now, my Soul Edge, it's 281 right now, but it started out at 220. So I infused it up a little bit. But if it was 220 right now, I wouldn't want to use this 287 machine gun on it, because it's not going to make the jump from 220 to 287 right away. It's just not. There's a limit to how far it's actually going to go. I don't know what the limit is, but I can tell you it's not going to jump from 220 to 287. It would be better if I used this 273 if that's all I had. Probably better off even still if I had like a 250 or 260 version. That would then bump me up from 220 to around the 250, 260-ish. Then I could go ahead and use another piece of gear that's 270, 280 to bump it up even higher. And that way you're being the most economical you can be with all of your gear. On this artifact, you see I have a 300 artifact, but I also have a blue that is 295. I can't use it for infusion on the 300 because, again, 300 is higher. But what I will do is probably save it to take over to my Hunter or my Titan maybe, because you can actually go ahead and use gear from your other characters on separate ones. So that's an easy way to bump up some of your low-leveled starter characters. I could take over this 265 chest plate, take it over to my Hunter, and help boost his light up real quick. So it takes a little while to get your first character going, but your second character and your third character are definitely going to level up a lot faster as long as you're being smart. Utilize what you can, utilize what you have. I've got some blue engrams, blue gear that's sitting around here. It's not of any worth to my Warlock, so I'll go ahead and bump up my other characters. As far as buying gear, the only thing I ended up buying was that Ghost Shell. The Ghost Shell that's now 285. I would recommend doing your strikes in your Court of Orcs, whatever it can be, to level up as much as you can artificially before using any of your legendary marks on gear. Now for me, I had a blue Ghost Shell that I was wearing around, and I was also rocking this 268 shell. I basically couldn't get up to 280 at all through whatever I was doing. I just couldn't find any ghost shells. So I decided to go ahead and purchase one from the Vanguard vendor, and then I leveled it up with a blue that I ended up finding because I really did want that worm spore perk. So just something to keep in mind, you can only carry 200 legendary marks anyway, so you're going to have to use them on something. And it might be beneficial to wait until you're around at that stage and then go ahead and pick something that you really need to help bump up your character. Getting that ghost shell up to 285, that really helped me get up there. I'm also saving some other legendary gear. You can see I've got some sniper rifles and fusion rifles, other things that I can go ahead and use. And even though it's 284, it's not my highest attack, still whenever I put it on, I'm still at light level 290. Same thing with the armor. This armor has a void burn protection, whereas the one I have on right now has solar burn protection. That's going to be useful in the Nightfalls. It might be good to keep some different armor elements around. Just something to keep in mind, just some other things you might want to keep in mind. Again, I strongly recommend fusing only with your blues. I recommend taking your purples and dismantling them for the legendary marks. Probably don't buy any of these things, but who knows, if you're near the cap for the legendary marks, you may want to just spend them on something. For me, I know that I have a sword as my heavy weapon, but I don't have anything else ideal. I might want to get a rocket launcher. That's legendary. In fact, I know I probably want one, and I think there's one over here at the Vanguard Quartermaster that I could get, and I might end up doing that. It's 150 marks though. I don't know. I might do it. Let's take a look at it. So whenever we look at it, it's the one over here. It has a huge blast radius, so that's really nice. But again, 150 marks. Still, I might want to end up picking this up because I know I'm not going to use my sword in the raid. That's just not something that's ideal for the bosses at all. So a machine gun or rocket launcher is probably going to be something that I need. It's definitely something that I am lacking. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Again, you get your legendary marks from those daily missions, 30 from that. You get them from dismantling purples, and you can get them as rewards from quests. So everything you do could give you legendary marks, and you're going to need them, and they're really good. And I hope that this helps you to level up your character to 280 to do all the Nightfalls and the strikes, and 290 to get into the raid. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smack that like button. Subscribe to the channel to keep updated on daily Destiny content. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, the Taken King, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Light.